Hi, we'll be starting in 2 minutes to allow more people to join. Great, I see people are still joining, so we'll wait a few more seconds. Okay, I think we can begin. So hi everyone and welcome to our webinar with the title of today is Supercharge Your SAP DevOps Process. Together with me is our host for today, Samuel, who is our Director of Technology Partnerships and Product. Well, Samuel, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Shelley, and welcome to our webinar. And we are going to discuss the SAP DevOps processes and how you can perfect them. So first of all, let me introduce Panaya, which is the change intelligence platform. If you didn't meet yet us, we are delivering changes with confidence, and we're founded in 2006. Panaya has deep and long experience in SAP environments, and we are the leader in impact analysis and testing for ERP. We are trusted by more than 3,000 customers around the world and performed a huge amount of projects with them. And part of our customers you can see on the right side. Let's talk about the agenda. We are going to discuss in the first place about the markets, trends, and what is DevOps in SAP itself. There is no process without people, so we're going to discuss also the key personas of DevOps in SAP, and talk about the changes, different types of changes, planned and unplanned. The processes of DevOps are important to talk about as well as the common challenges of these DevOps processes. And finally, we're going to introduce you the Panaya solution for the smart DevOps. So let's start. The market trends of ERP are very, very famous. Actually, there is a digital transformation wave around the globe, and many customers of SAP are experiencing the migrations into the S/4HANA and cloud itself. The deadline of S4 migration is causing the urgency, and it's increasing also the complexity, because today, in today's environment, in today's markets, there is a high requirement of new changes, the new business processes, and this is the reason why each and every change which is introduced into SAP ERP environment needs to be checked, and needs to have a great understanding of the impact which it is causing, not just to introduce the innovation, but also to keep the existing environment healthy. Another trend is the agility and DevOps. Now, this is not new in SAP. It requires, as well as in other environments, to shorten the release cycles. As we mentioned before, the high amount of innovations which is introduced leads to the requirements to shorten the cycles of releases, and to accelerate the testing is very much required as well, to also to help the business users to accomplish it as soon as possible. And the increased number of no-code and low-code applications is the must for the DevOps environment to introduce the new automation, which is leading to the growing number of integrations within the change process of each and every organization in SAP. The compliance and regulations are even more important in the times of the cloud, and the requirements for compliance are growing all the time. Documentation is very much important, as well as security and governance are on the top of the list of each and every IT manager. Let's see, first of all, what is the traditional DevOps and how it is connected to SAP environment. Now, everyone knows this picture about the DevOps and all the steps of the DevOps which are required. And in theory, it looks very easy. The smooth change between the different steps is causing the agility in the change process, but in reality, it's complicated, it's challenging, because different steps are introduced in different tools and processes, and sometimes it's a challenge to connect them, to connect the separated processes and tools. And to address the challenges, we're here to talk about them. As mentioned before, there is no process without people, and let me introduce in the first place SAP team, the four most important people who are working with the environment of SAP innovations. And in the first place, it is David, who is SAP consultant. David is managing the entire change process. David is involved in each and every step of this process, starting from understanding the requirements from business, understanding what needs to be done, and how to translate it into the technical requirement. David also needs to know exactly how the system is situated, what is the standard, how we can address the requirement from business with SAP standard in the first place, and what needs to be developed on top to accomplish the whole requirement. And this is where Jason comes into the stage, who is a developer and works together with David to execute the development itself, to work on, first of all, investigation, how exactly to develop what needs to be developed, and also to perform the technical design, working together with David. Later on, Jason needs to finish his work with the unit tests to understand whether everything what he has done is working fine and successfully, to hand it over to the next person, who is Victoria, and who's responsible for the QA assurance. And because Victoria is a tester, and she's owning the whole testing activity, starting with the planning stage, going over to the execution, and not to forget the reporting part of the whole change process and the testing process within this change. Victoria also works very close with David to understand what has been accomplished, what has been developed, what is the innovation, and how is it integrating into the existing process, so that she can, based on this functional design and technical design, can start the testing. It goes around all the testing cycles: functional testing, regression or integration, or other types of testing, such as user acceptance testing as well, for example. Now, everything is going over to Alex, our next persona. Alex is the basis manager who is responsible for the deployment processes within SAP system. He was already responsible to deploy the transports to QA environment where Victoria has tested, but of course, primarily, Alex is responsible to keep the production healthy. It means to orchestrate manually or with tools, depending on different types of organizations, that different streams of different projects are going smoothly into the production or other environments without causing any technical issues. So Alex is responsible for this area. This is the SAP team. These are the people who are working daily with all these challenges which we are talking about. Talking about challenges, the common challenges of DevOps, and we named it already a couple of times, are the innovation number, which are increasing. The business demands are increasing daily because of the business transformation today. More and more business requirements are coming into the backlog of development, which and the time is getting shorter and shorter. So this is the challenge which needs to be handled. We know that agility is a very important part of the fast development, but today in SAP environment, as we know, the vast majority of SAP shop is still working in waterfall way of introducing changes, and the processes which need to be strictly followed are sometimes standing in the way of the very fast introduction of innovation. So this is a challenge as well. One of the biggest challenges in today's SAP organization is the silos. It's not just about tools or processes; it's also about the team silos. It's known that several different stakeholders and different teams are working in silos. For example, the business team who are working on functional concept, or development team and technical team together. The bases are working on the technical execution, and it's not always very smooth transport of information between these silos and between these teams. So the stakeholders mostly need to know everything at once to make a decision very fast. And because of these silos in different tools and processes of different teams, there is a poor visibility in many cases, so that this is also a challenge. As we spoke about the increasing number of innovations, of course, there is not enough time anymore for the testing and validations, which is an essential part of the quality assurance. And finally, one of the biggest bottleneck in each and every project is the user acceptance testing, which is performed by business users for whom this is an overhead, which is coming on top of their daily work. Let's talk about the types of changes which are there. There are two main types of changes. The first one and the standard one is the plan change. These plan changes are usually part of different streams and projects. It may include, as mentioned before, project delivery, releases which are ongoing and periodically ongoing, maintenance activities which needs to be performed from time to time, and of course, all these planned activities are following the predefined process, which might be complex depending on the maturity of the organization, and handled by different stakeholders to finalize them. Another way to introduce changes, and everyone has to have this type of changes, are the urgent ones. These changes are usually bug fixes, some issues with the performance in production. Today, many legal changes need to be addressed very urgently. So this is also sometimes a part of the urgent correction or urgent go live. And these unplanned activities, these unplanned changes, have to follow a very short process, because these changes, these fixes need to be introduced into production as soon as possible without waiting for the next window of a release. Now let's see how these changes are working with personas who are involved there, and start with the plan changes. Business requirement is usually introduced by the business, and the consultants take them over and working on them in the design stage, where they try to understand what kind of requirement it is. Is it possible to accomplish it with a standard which is already available in the system? Does it have to be developed on top of it? And it goes to the build stage, where the developer and consultants sitting together, and the design and also execute the development itself. Once it's finished, it's handed over to the tester, who is performing, usually it's a team who is performing the whole a bunch of different cycles of testing, which needs to be performed here: functional testing, integration testing, and so on and so forth. And consulting together with the tester decide, once it is ready, once there is a green light, everything is fine, all the defects are solved, and hand it over to the next stage, where the regression and one of the last stages in testing is performed, usually done by test automation tools. And this is done for the reason of making sure that all the other processes are still working fine, and innovation is not causing any negative side effects. All of that testing stage, all of these testing stages are finishing with the user acceptance testing, which is performed by the business user himself, who is checking whether the innovation which was requested is working in the way that it was requested, and everything else is still working fine. And all this process is finishing with the basis who is deploying the change into production. Now, as we can see, this is the full process of the change when it is planned, and once it's unplanned, several steps are falling out, and it starts with typically incident, bug fix, which is investigated by the consultant and corrected or fixed by the developer. And the very short stage of testing needs to be performed to assure at least some kind of quality assurance before the deployment starts. As we can see, several testing phases are not part of it, and that's the reason why the unplanned changes should be avoided, and the changes should be planned as requirements to assure the high quality. But it's not always the case. Sometimes the changes need to be introduced very, very fast. So altogether, this is how the SAP teams are working. This is the typical working stream. It's not just example from one single organization. It's a very, very typical way. The timeline, as an example, from 2023 till 2025, 2 years, consists of course, ongoing maintenance, which cannot stop to keep the system working all the time, introducing all the necessary corrections and adjustments. The business cannot stop, even especially today. The new innovations have to be introduced, and we can see as an example, new suppliers portal, new payroll system, manufacturing floor, robotics. Everything needs to be introduced into the environment to make the business be successful. In the same time, especially in our time, the S/4HANA migration has to be accomplished, and it has to be done in a parallel. And as all of us know who work within SAP environment, production errors, production defects and bugs are always coming unexpected, so they also need to be handled. All of these streams have to be handled simultaneously, so it's a very not an easy task to handle. Now, on this stage, I would like to introduce how Panaya can help here to handle this kind of process, especially with so many streams in the same time. And this is the plan for this is the Panaya Smart DevOps plan. Usually you can use Panaya from the start, but I just wanted to highlight that Panaya can be also integrated with any other solutions as well. So it doesn't matter whether the requirement is created, whether in Panaya or in any other tool like Jira or Solution Manager. Once the requirement is created, Panaya DevOps makes sure that this requirement is automatically available in Panaya as well, so that all the stakeholders who need to work with intelligence of Panaya can see it right away without having any manual step or any maintenance double work in the same place. So it's done automatically. Panaya has the requirement which was created anywhere, and in Panaya, our customers go through the intelligence analysis of any change. The transports are analyzed, all the transports are analyzed, automatically creating the list of the impact, which helps to automatically understand which parts of the system have to be tested, how to scope the test, and helps with detecting the gaps in existing testing library, fix these gaps, and making sure that the requirement is introduced after testing everything what is necessary. Not too much, not too little, just the right scope for this requirement. And all of that is also supported by accelerated manual testing and automatic testing execution. Now, once everything is ready, once this intelligence part and testing is finished, and we have a green light, then, of course, Panaya integrates with other tools which are responsible for the deployment. As you can see, the list can be even longer. So all of this DevOps in Panaya supports the minimization of the risk, in the same time cutting the time and the cost without compromising one on each other. And you make sure that the quality is delivered into the system in the fastest time possible. Let's see one example how it works. And let's assume there is a business user and consultant who are working in Jira, which is part of the organizational process. And the requirement or story is created in Jira. This story is automatically available in Panaya as well. And a little bit later, or at the same time, the technical team, developer, and basis are working together on in SAP Solution Manager Charm, where the transports are created and deployed. So also that has the automatic integration into Panaya, and the change document created in Solution Manager Charm is automatically available in Panaya as well. In Panaya environment, there is always a good way to connect this Jira requirement with the corresponding change document from Charm, so that all the Panaya features can help to profit from this connection. It means that having these transport requests available, you will always know what needs to be tested, and having the Jira, in this case Jira, but having the business requirement available in Panaya as well, you can compare your existing testing plan to what has been changed and understand what you really need to test, what are the gaps, using Panaya change analysis, which is powered by AI. And in the same time, all these stakeholders, all these people can work together in Panaya, profiting from collaborative business process testing, helping the business users to be part of it, but as well managing the defect in a very, very smart way, handle the automatic testing documentations, helping the testers to get rid of overhead, which is usually involved in the testing processes, but also introducing the no-code test automation in the same time, executing the automation as well. And all of that is, of course, summarized in the real-time visibility for all the types of managers who need to know to understand what is next, where we are in today, which is breaking all the silos which we spoke about in the beginning. In the end, Panaya takes care of making sure that all the information flow goes back. For example, the Charm of Solution Manager gets the status and testing results goes back to Jira, so that the process can continue where it needs to finish. Just to show how it looks like in the system, I'd like to show you a small demonstration how it looks like. Let's see that this Jira issue is created, and it's part of a major program or a project, and move to the next stage, which makes sure that it comes also into Panaya environment automatically, so it's replicated in Panaya as well automatically. There is no need of a double maintenance. In the same time, in Solution Manager, we see that this change document is getting created with the transport request as well, and all of that is also connected to Panaya, so that in Panaya, and now we are in Panaya, we can make sure that having this Jira ticket in Panaya already created, we can go ahead and find all the necessary Charm change documents which are required and connect them to this particular feature. Once it's done, we see also the transport requests which are here, but most important, based on this transport request, we can build a testing plan upon the Panaya recommendations. We know all the impacted entry points, but most important here, that Panaya can help to build the testing plan, suggesting existing tests from your testing library, but also helping you to make a decision to generate new tests, finding the gaps in existing library. So once it's done, you're building the test plan, and once the test plan is executed, you can see the results in change document in Solution Manager itself, with the notifications that the testing plan has been executed. And at the same time, in Jira, you see all the testing results, so that all this process can continue with the intelligence which was delivered by Panaya. Okay, so this is the use case of DevOps, where Panaya can really introduce smartness into it and intelligence. Let's take a look where Panaya can support you in the whole DevOps journey. We can see that especially the planning, releasing, and testing stages are important to cut time, to get the right quality assurance, to increase the speed without compromising on quality, and to have the real monitor on real-time analytics within the dashboards in Panaya to understand what's going on and where it goes and where we are right now. Panaya is also integrated to different tools, as we showed it with the Jira and Solution Manager as well, and also we have more integrations available. In this way, Panaya helps to make the DevOps process connected, smart, and faster, addressing many challenges which are usually part of the DevOps journey in SAP. Just to speak a few words about how Panaya works as such and what is good for. Panaya Test Dynamics platform consists of important change impact analysis, which is connected in one platform. It is one platform with the test management and execution, with the no-code automation. The change impact analysis helps to optimize the testing by giving the recommendation what needs to be tested, and the change analysis itself is available for all the SAP, S/4HANA, Salesforce, and Oracle EBS systems, and test management, which is also introduces the acceleration of execution and no-code automation as well, powered by dashboards and real-time analytics. You can see the list of all the different applications which are tested with it by our customers. And one more slide just to explain the main use cases of Panaya, where you can work with Panaya. And one of them is the vendor-driven changes. Today, it's a very important topic of S/4HANA migration, but not just S/4HANA migration itself. Of course, we support all the upgrades, standard vendor-driven upgrades within ECC environment still, but also after the conversion to S/4HANA, you can profit from Panaya intelligence by upgrading your S/4HANA versions. The beauty of this solution is that at mostly no time you get the results. We complete the project within 40 project calculation within 48 hours. And the project plan shows all the technical aspects of the project where you see the auto-generated tasks for what needs to be fixed, what needs to be tested, founded by the very deep and broad analysis, and introducing the technical and functional risk assessments. And additionally to that, it has the project management capabilities where you can use them to scope down all the amount of changes which were found, the fixes which were found, to those very, very much necessary ones to introduce the successful go live as soon as possible. Another use case is the business-driven changes. In between upgrades, of course, you have to introduce the innovation, and Panaya helps you to make it risk-free. We analyze all the types of transports which will lead you to understand what needs to be tested, how to optimize the testing scope in a perfect way to test just what is impacted, and also understand where in your existing testing library you have a gap, and not just address it, but also to cover it so you don't have it anymore. And all of that based on another use case, which is the enterprise test management and automation platform for each and every change validation, which is really famous for its easiness of use. We designed this platform not just for technical users and managers, but also for the business users who do not need to have long onboarding times. It's usually very, very fast up and running. It helps with generating the testing documentation, which can be used as the testing evidence or training material or whatsoever. And it's a really big feature which helps the customers to get rid of overhead and bureaucracy. Collaboration is one of the very important values of it, as well as the actionable real-time insights and famous Panaya correlation between the technical risks and the functional with additional factors of risk. So these are the main use cases of Panaya. Please feel free to address any of my colleagues to have a demonstration of one of these use cases. And this leads us to the questions and answers.
Great. So thank you, Samuel. Let me see if we have some questions in the chat box. Okay, so yeah, we have a few. First question, we've started S4. Is Panaya still applicable here?
So Panaya can be used in different stages of S4 conversion projects, and of course, starting with understanding the business case. But if you started already the execution of the project, it's not too late to use Panaya, because Panaya is very fast to start working with, and it will show you exactly where you are, what still needs to be accomplished, what is already done will not be highlighted, but only what you still need to do. And in any case, Panaya is not a one-time solution. You can use Panaya ongoingly, and this is how customers of Panaya use it in the conversion projects all the time. Panaya shows what is still the gap, what is already accomplished. So no, the answer is to your question, it's not too late to use Panaya if you started this for project. Please ask us for a demonstration, and we will show you how.
Good. We have another question. Can you explain more? How does Panaya reduce the risk in a DevOps process?
Yes, of course. Panaya is a smart intelligence platform, and our capability to analyze any change and the transports and understanding what exactly is impacting is helping to mitigate the risk. We can not only highlight what is impacted in terms of what was designed to be impacted, but also to show you what are maybe the processes which you even didn't expect that are impacted. So Panaya shows within seconds what exactly needs to be tested. And it's not just help you to mitigate the risk, but also helps you to save the time, because you test only what is representing the risk of your change, and without testing too much.
Great. Okay, I think all the other questions you did answer during the session, but if you have any other questions or you want to reach out, then please feel free to contact us. You have your Samuel's email on the screen, or just Google Panaya.com, and we have there all our contact details. And thank you all for joining us today. Thank you, Samuel, and have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Shelley.